You know, not every day has to be a great adventure. Sometimes you just go and get a Frisbee and a couple water guns and go have fun at the park. It's like watching Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr going at it, but with just way more chaos. Well, guys, I got news for you.
What?
This is where the sidewalk ends.
Nope.
That'll be funny in a couple years. After a fun-filled day in the park and a little bit of dinner that we whipped up at home, we're off to the Guitar Center and Pinkberry, but that's a side quest. The reason I'm going to Guitar Center is to do some more research and look for a couple cables I might need, because yes, I am officially going to start a podcast again, because I really miss doing it, and you don't get the full gamut of what I offer on these videos, because, well, I get flabobbled over my words, and is flabobbled a word? She's not paying attention. And I went back and listened to some old podcasts that we did way back when I was doing TNT podcasts with my friends Troy and Josh, and quite frankly, they made me laugh. Hello, Charlie. Say hello, world. Charlie says hello. But also, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, well, Charlie, when we do something, we do it
Right.
That's right. We do it right. So next stop, Guitar Center. But before we get into the podcasting stuff, I have a couple other announcements. But first, the most exciting thing that's happened to us in a while. They reopened our Orange Grove exit here in Tucson. You have no idea how amazing this is because it's so hard to get anywhere we normally go without having to drive really far out of the way that way or really far out of the way that way. So hey, let's take that exit right now. And I don't think anyone's more excited about this than you, because she has to take this way to work, so it makes life a lot easier for her. Our beautiful mountains and a truck full of stuff. Oh, this feels so wrong. It's been at least 2 years, I think, since we've been able to take this exit. Closer to three. Yeah, it's weird taking this exit. Like, this has just been filled with construction for 3 years as we've driven by. But yay, Orange Grove is open again. Oh, yellow light. Just arrived, let's go check it out. Well, it didn't have what I wanted, but it's okay. I know it's online. I just hate shopping online if I don't have to, as we learned in the last video. But I did promise some people dessert. So on to Pinkberry. Will you guys describe the Pinkberry to me?
You can have some.
To my knowledge, I believe this is the only Pinkberry in Tucson. And here we are a couple days later. And actually, the reason that it's a couple days later really holds true to why I want to start doing the podcast again. I truly, truly love making YouTube content for no other reason than it is an artistic outlet that allows me to kind of get that bug out there that I need to create and do something as far as an artistic endeavor goes. And I've always wanted to be a filmmaker and editor, and that's what I get to do with YouTube. So when I record these videos, I'm not recording anything that's planned out or anything that I've designed, if that makes any sense. I kind of just record things as they happen, and then I find a way to put together the narrative in the editing process. And don't get me wrong, usually I do everything in chronological order that it was filmed. So it's just kind of a glimpse and insight to our lives. And the reason I want to get back to podcasting again, I enjoyed it, and it allowed me to do like long form version of these YouTube videos where I got to have a conversation with friends or people I admire or other entertainers or creators that really kind of sparked an interest when I see what they create and I watch what they do or listen to what they make. You fill in the blank here. And sometimes when I'm recording these videos, since I'm in front of the lens and camera too, it's hard for me to actually, fully be who I am, if that makes any sense. And this is like, let's open the door here and let you completely in. Because with YouTube, we get to edit it down to what I want you to see as opposed to what's really happening. And that sounds way more cryptic than I mean it. I don't mean like we're editing it so you don't see who we truly are. This is behind the mask. No. I mean, obviously when I show you these videos when I'm out with my kids and everything else, I'm not going to show you the part where I have to be the parent, which is why we cut this video short over at Pinkberry. As soon as I recorded that last scene that you saw, we had to step in and be parents because, well, let's call it what it was. Charlie was having an absolute temper tantrum and meltdown. Sorry about that. Unintentional stop to the video there because this really cheap boom mic arm that I ordered off Amazon decided to fall on me mid-sentence. But back to what I was saying. When I'm out and about with my wife and kids and everything else, when I'm creating the content or filming stuff in hopes to make it into content, if I have to be a parent, and by that I mean the real stuff, kids aren't acting right or something's going on, if I have to choose between continuing making the content or being the parent, well, obviously, I'm going to be the parent every single time. Choosing to make the content is what I do as my outlet and pastime. And let me explain that. I make the content for YouTube and hopefully podcasting and my comic books for 2 reasons. I'm very passionate about the creative process. This is the way I put out that artistic side of me that I don't get to display or do at my day job every day. You know, when you go to work, you're going there for a reason. You go there with intent to earn a paycheck, to take care of your family, to make sure the bills are paid, to provide stability to the family. But when you have that brain that requires artistic outlet, this stuff here becomes more than just creating something for becoming a YouTuber or having a podcast out there. It really becomes a form of therapy too, because I truly enjoy making this stuff. And if I didn't have the outlet of YouTubing, podcasting, comic book creation, I do find myself getting to these very deep ruts. It's hard for me to get out of it mentally, everything else, where it just keeps getting darker and darker internally and mentally. And lucky for me, I have an amazing life partner with my wife who understands I truly enjoy the comic book stuff, the YouTube, the technology portion, the podcasting, and she's been around since the podcasting days. So she understands that it's something that I need in order to feel complete, if that makes any sense at all. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sacrifice my true job and my true passion, which is being a parent. So that's why we had to cut the video from there to here, but it also allows me to kind of explain what I would like to do, which is the long form portion. Because the reason I want to get back into podcasting is when I make these videos, they're between usually 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 if I'm feeling sassy. But it's like that short content, short form, well edited. Well, I guess depending on who you ask, well edited. But it's not a continuous picture of the happenings. Whereas with podcasting, if we run about an hour time and I'm sitting down with friends or someone I'm interviewing or whatever, enter content here, I get to do it in that long form and you actually get to see it naturally and progress the way it is supposed to in real time. And hopefully we can have a revival of sorts. I've talked to both my friends I used to do the podcast with, and it sounds like at least one of them is interested in doing it again. So hey, let's jump back on that horse, right? And now I'm going to take this time too to talk about the comic book portion. So if you made it this far, bless you. But if you're in the Tucson area in Southern Arizona, on March 2nd, I will actually be at the Tucson Toy Show as a guest of Presidio Comics. And I'm really excited for this. And I'm pretty sure I even got my buddy Caleb convinced to come out too, who's the artist on Brief History and Time. And we've now done 6 issues of that book, and fun announcement, the 7th issue is actually in production right now. And by that, Caleb's working on the art and the designs, and I'm finishing up the script. So I examined the first 6 pages a while ago, but I read it, I'm like, okay, we're on the right track here. And when Caleb and I were texting back and forth, he even told me he was getting the design started for one of our new characters, and I cannot wait to see what he comes up with. But if you're in Tucson on March 2nd, we're going to be at the Tucson Toy Show signing copies of our books at the Presidio Comics booth, and that's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Tucson Expo Center. Cannot wait. I'm super excited. I felt a little, I made a joke to my wife because the Tucson Toy Show actually said, hey, one of our special guests, and they said me on there. I'll put that picture right here. And my first thought is, oh my gosh, are they that desperate for guests that I made their list as like the most Z-list person you can invite? But hey, you know what? That's my self-deprecating thought process. I'm trying to get away from that. And I'm super excited to get back on the journey of podcasting again, making comics, continuing the YouTube stuff. Wow, this is like a 12:30 a.m. therapy session. So I appreciate you getting this far. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I promise not all of them are emo-centric like this one was. I swear they're going to get better, more thought out. I can't wait to keep this journey going. And thank you guys for following me on this journey. Bye-bye, everybody. Tune in next time. Oh, yeah. We're changing the name of the YouTube channel again. It'll be the last time, I swear. But I want to make sure everything just is under one umbrella, and I think there's just too many different names to go by at this point. But more on that in a future video. Bye-bye, everybody.